Majestic.
See you late as usual.
You need to clean this place. I done got all day.
Oh, ew, what the fuck?
That couch just fluffed itself. Whose crib is this, man? Steve Jobs?
Steve Jobs is dead, fool. I mean, it's
House Party. The film opens in Los Angeles. Kevin is a single father to his daughter, Destiny. He tries to make hip-hop beats, but they aren't very good. Kevin is also struggling financially and lives with his parents. Meanwhile, Kevin's best friend Damon is staying with his aunt and is an amateur slacker. On his way to work, Kevin is accosted by a party promoter named Kyle and his two goons. They have a bone to pick with Damon since he messed around with their cousin and hasn't called her back, and he has also apparently stolen her chain. Kyle kicks Kevin and Damon off of a party they were planning for the next night, which was also supposed to be an important gig for them. Kevin and Damon work at a cleaning company. While Kevin tries to take things seriously, Damon usually gets him in trouble. Kevin gets a call from his friend Venus to inform them that their bosses have security footage of the guy smoking weed at the last house they worked at, effectively firing them. Damon goes around the house to mess around, admiring the many expensive items in the place until he sees a humanitarian award and realizes the house belongs to LeBron James. He runs to tell Kevin, who informs Damon they have been fired. They discuss wanting to throw a party to raise money, especially since Kevin wants to pay for Destiny's school tuition. The guys then get the idea to throw the party there at LeBron's house, which he would not find out about it because he is away on a 2-week-long meditation retreat. Just as the guys decide to go through with the plan, they meet LeBron's neighbor Peter, who has a pet koala named Marley. They pretend to be employed by LeBron to get him off their back. The next day, the guys set their plans in motion. They hire their friend Vic to be the DJ, but they order him not to drink so he can have a clear head. They also get Venus and her cousin Mika to come by, but Venus nearly leaves when she finds out what the guys are trying to do and only sticks around because Mika likes the place. Venus mentions that her getting in trouble would cost her a promotion that she is up for. Damon then sends out various invitations, including a heartfelt email to singer Maya. As the night begins, people start to show up, but the bouncer that the guys hired is selective about who he lets in. One guy attempts to force his way in, only for the bouncer to slug him in the stomach and throw him into a bush. The guy threatens to come back with his gun, but the bouncer knows he's not going to come back. Kevin gets worried about things getting out of control, but Damon tries to encourage him to have a good time. More guests show up, including Snoop Dogg, Lil Wayne, Big Sean, and Kid Cudi. Cudi smokes weed by himself and creeps Damon out with his weird behavior. The two get into a dance-off with Venus and singer Tanashi, with the guys showing off by doing the kick-step. Tanashi is impressed with Venus's dancing, as that is her true passion, and she invites Venus to audition for her as a backup dancer. Kyle and his guys find that their party is dead, with virtually nobody in attendance. Kyle overhears from two other bar patrons about the party, finding out that Damon is throwing it. He forcefully gets the address and heads off. Things start to get out of control because Vic sneaks off due to being bored with sobriety. He hits a bong with Lena Waithe and gets ridiculously high, along with Marley the koala. Kevin confronts Damon since he is messing around with two women, acting like everything is under control. The guys get into an argument over how Damon is always bringing Kevin down, and he tells Damon that he should not consider Destiny his goddaughter, as he keeps calling her, because Kevin would not trust him with her, which hurts Damon's feelings. Damon goes outside and gets assaulted by Kyle and his goons. Marley then emerges and attacks them, sending them running off. Just as Damon thanks Marley, he attacks Damon too, right before he is picked up by a woman. It turns out to be Maya, who read Damon's email and was touched enough to show up to the party. As they sit to chat, Kyle and his goons find LeBron's trophy room and steal his championship ring. Vic quits being DJ, leaving the party without music. Kevin attempts to put his own beats on, but everyone hates it, except Big Sean. Hearing the crowd's boos, Damon has to leave a chance to hang out with Maya so that he can back Kevin up. They are saved when rapper Juvenile, who turns out to be Venus's uncle, shows up to get the party back in business. The head of security that the guys hired then comes to inform them that the ring has been stolen. With few options, they turn to Kid Cudi, who tells them he knows how to get them a replacement ring in short time. Venus agrees to hold the house down while the guys are out, and she kisses Kevin. Maya also informs Kevin that Damon turned her down to help him, allowing Kevin to trust Damon again. Cudi takes the guys to an Illuminati party, where they dress in hooded robes and must drink blood. Kevin also meets Mark Cuban, who agrees to buy a pitch from Kevin before he hears it. Damon sneaks off to find a ring successfully, but just as they leave, the guys notice Kid in play, and Damon accidentally says "God bless you," alerting the rest of the Illuminati that they are intruders. Kevin and Damon are forced into an underground fight club where they must fight to survive against brutish men with axes and swords. Cudi intervenes and kills one of the men, but another man kills him before Kevin and Damon impale that man. They try to save Cudi, but he assures them that the Illuminati will resurrect him. He also gives them a poem that he wrote and says it's for LeBron's eyes only. The guys make it back to the party and find Peter there upset because Marley is very high. Just as he tries to threaten the guys with calling the police, Mika becomes interested in Marley, and Damon convinces her to go back with Peter to his house. They think they are off the hook until LeBron himself arrives home and is angry to see the party going on. Kevin and Damon come clean as LeBron threatens to call the cops, but Damon takes the fall to spare Kevin and opts to take the full punishment. Damon then challenges LeBron to a basketball match to avoid jail time, which the crowd encourages. Unsurprisingly, Damon loses miserably, and LeBron calls the cops. Kevin feels bad, but Damon assures him he will be fine. As Kevin and Venus leave the party, Kevin finds that Damon left him with money for Destiny. For months later, Kevin narrates that Damon was sentenced to a year in prison, but after reading Cudi's poem, LeBron convinced the judge to let Damon off early for good behavior, and he even has Maya come to pick him up. Kyle and his guys are arrested for trying to sell the championship ring. Kevin and Venus start a relationship, and Venus goes back to dancing full-time. Kevin also says that they had to give all the money they made from the party to LeBron for the damages to his house, but Big Sean helped Kevin get his music career started since he liked his beats, and that earned him enough money to pay for Destiny to go to school. Finally, Cudi is brought back to life by the Illuminati. Best friends Kevin and Damon are struggling financially, especially now that they have been fired from their house cleaning job due to their shenanigans. When they find out that the last house they are cleaning belongs to LeBron James, they come up with the idea to throw a crazy party to make enough money to support themselves, as well as Kevin paying for his daughter Destiny's school tuition. They are helped by their friend Venus, who has a mutual attraction to Kevin. The party has many guests, including celebrities like Snoop Dogg, Lil Wayne, Big Sean, Kid Cudi, Lena Waithe, Tanashi, and Maya. The guys are antagonized by another party promoter named Kyle and his friends since Damon was messing with his cousin and screwed them out of money. They show up at the party and steal LeBron's championship ring, forcing the guys to go with Cudi to an Illuminati party to get a replacement ring and nearly getting killed in a fight club. LeBron returns home early and nearly calls the cops on both the guys. Damon takes the fall to spare Kevin, and despite trying to play LeBron to avoid jail time, he fails miserably and still goes to jail. Later on, LeBron helps Damon get out early after reading a poem that Cudi wrote, while Kevin starts a relationship with Venus and starts a music career, earning him enough money to support himself and Destiny.